The Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are using a faked concern for the well-being and welfare of our soldiers in order to, and our defence forces in order to abandon neutrality. Because they want to join the big boys club of the European militarisation project and get closer to NATO. PESCO is indistinguishably connected, inextricably connected to NATO in terms of interoperability, and quite frankly, let's be honest, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are embarrassed by our neutrality. They always have been, and they see concern about the well-being of our troops and now the Ukrainian crisis as an excuse to finally bury the tradition of neutrality, and we intend to stand out very strongly against that. If you're concerned about the well-being of our soldiers, pay them properly so that they actually want to stay in the defence forces and that we can actually get up our forces up to proper force. Of course, equip them to secure their safety, but that does not mean getting involved with the European militarisation project or with NATO. By the way, as an aside, if we go along with the dramatic increase of expenditure that is being proposed by NATO and the European militarists, forget about climate change. Forget about dealing with climate change. Makes a nonsense of it. Because the biggest producers in the world of CO2 emissions are militaries. So that flies directly in the face of any concern for climate change. We see I heard the Taoiseach, and probably even yourself, Minister, condemn, rightly, Vladimir Putin as an imperialist. His attack on Ukraine is an imperialist attack. Absolutely. Now I ask you another question. Are there any other imperialists in the world? And who might they be? Well, if Putin's invasion of Ukraine is imperialist, and it is, was the United States invasion of Iraq imperialist? Answer, yes. Was there invasion of Afghanistan imperialist? Answer, yes. Is there arming of the Saudi dictatorship to conduct a bloody war in Yemen imperialist? Answer, yes. Is the European Union and the United States' support for the Israeli apartheid state involved in absolutely criminal wars, crimes against humanity against the Palestinian people for 70 people, is that part of a Western imperialist project to have an ally in the Middle East to help keep that region under its thumb? Answer, yes. You know it. The double standards of the European Union in terms of foreign policy are despicable. Absolutely despicable. So, while you rightly call out the imperialism of Putin and say we should be concerned about it, don't mention US imperialism, don't mention British imperialism, don't mention French imperialism, even though they have been as guilty of brutal, murderous, unjustified wars and backing absolutely rotten and criminal regimes. There's a very proud tradition that goes back to the independence of this state and to James Connolly and the leaders of 1916 to oppose imperialism. That's why we must defend neutrality and oppose your attempts to shatter it.